So the Yankees lost again. Like, they're just terrible.
My mom would say, they're the pits.
Yeah, and I'm not the guy who hates his team just because they're playing bad. In fact, I'm about to explain that.
It's 100.
But it's frustrating. I've never seen a team go from, like, unbeatable to unbearable to this level.
It's a 162-game season. When they were, like, 40 games over 500 in the first half, I said to you, I go, Covino, I promise you, the Yankees are going to be a force come the postseason, but don't expect them to win 130 games. They're not going to go 130 and 32.
Everybody knew they were going to hit a slide, Rich.
But this is a bigger slide than you thought.
Yes, and I'm not being that typical complainy, again, POS Yankee fan who's like, get rid of Hicks. He sucks. I'm not being that guy.
Yeah.
I'm just pointing out the obvious. Like, they're that bad.
Yeah.
So they lost again, and I'm talking to Rich. Rich, who's a Mets guy, if you're new to Covino and Rich. We're from the East Coast. We're out here in L.A. Grew up a Yankees fan. He grew up a Mets fan. I'm like, yo, how are your Mets doing? Because I was aggravated about the Yankees.
And I said, dude, I turned the game off like 2 hours ago. It was 6-1. And that brings up a pretty interesting debate you and I have.
Yeah, like you saying that again makes me as mad as it made me last night.
I said, Covino, I turned off the game when it was 6-1. In fact, the Mets lost last night 13-1.
And I know Rich's habits, but it bothered me. And I'm like, why would you do that? What inning was it when you shut it off?
Oh, man, I'll look at the box score. It had to be like the 5th inning, and it was like 6-1.
Really? That's how much you believe in your team? That's how much you believe in your team, where you think the game's over? Look, I get it. We all have busy lives. But to me, that says that you're just a fair-weathered, fickle fan.
That's insanity.
No, are you serious? You just proved it to everybody. Your team is down 6-1. It's the 6th inning, and you're so busy and you're so disgusted by this team you don't believe in that you said, yeah, I'm moving on to watch whatever it is that you watched. Blippy. I get it. You have things to do. We all have things to do. But if you're not ride or die, if you're only there when your team is winning, then you are not a fan, my friend. You were just a front runner.
It's like
you are a front runner.
That is the
dude.
Most
I sit there
thing.
every night.
That's a
unless
terrible
Unless I have some really important stuff to do, right? Like, I get it. Here's the only exception. Ready? The game is on. My team is down by 5, and my girlfriend's looking at me like, "Are we going out to dinner or what?" Then I'm like, "All right, fine, let's go." But I'm not going to stop watching the game because they're losing. That's why you watch sports, to see them come back, to see the impossible. You only watch when they're winning? That's the most absurd thing, and I guarantee, in fact, we're on Fox Sports Radio, I George Foreman guarantee it, that most people, because these are real sports fans we're talking to right now, are going to be on my side.
Disagree.
You don't shut off your team in the 6th inning because they're losing by 5 runs. This is the big leagues. You got Polar Bear Pete Alonso. You got that big slug, Vogelbach. You got all
Slug?
these...
That guy would whoop your ass in a race,
I'm sorry,
I would love it.
Did I say slug? I meant slugger. You got all these guys who hit bombs. You got Starling Marte. And you're going to shut off the game? That shows to me, without saying, you're only there when times are good. It's a character trait, not when times are bad.
I think you're a lunatic, and I think your
really?
I think your girlfriend.
I made a pretty convincing point.
And I think
if you watch
people
a game,
would
you
agree.
watch the game, you watch it through.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
This
or
is
else
not
you're not a fan.
This is not the NFL where you play once a week for 16.
Then you
now
don't care.
17
then you don't
games.
care the way the other fans do. I watch every Yankee game, man.
That doesn't make you that makes you sort of ridiculous.
Well, it doesn't
to be
make
honest.
you right when you shut off the team when they're just because they're losing. To me, I'm waiting. I believe in it. I'm like, all right, they're going to turn it around, man.
Well, when
they're going to turn it around. Let's see it.
When you're done with your ridiculous point, let me just say, there's 162 games. I wonder how many you expect the average fan to watch in their entirety.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. You want to know why? This is going to blow your mind, bro.
Well, then save it.
This is going to blow your mind.
I can't wait.
No, I have to say it now because that's too much suspense. I'm not going to keep everybody on the edge of their seat.
Okay.
They got to drive to work right now.
All right, go ahead. Let's
Because I actually get this. I didn't have money on the game like you. Need all this action. I actually enjoy it.
Oh, then we're different. Okay.
I enjoy watching the game.
No, I'm not enjoying
because it's a game that I love.
The Mets are down 13-1.
So even them losing is better than some rerun of some crappy show. I don't care
actually,
about.
a rerun with rerun on what's happening is better than the Mets losing.
I mean, I love what's happening, and I love rerun.
Hey, Raj.
Hey, Raj.
Hey, D, I'll give you a quarter.
Hey. I love all that. But you're out of your mind.
By the way, I'm getting so much feedback. 877-99 on Fox, at Covino and Rich. Do you turn off the game? Do you stop watching your team? Not if they're losing, Covino. If they're getting killed. And you're making it seem like you're not a fan if you do.
You're
I
not,
got
man.
plans, bro. I'm a busy guy. 162
You're
games.
You're a busy guy. Everybody's a busy guy. You're no more busy than anybody else.
I'm on a Mets thread.
We're on the radio for a few hours a day.
I know you're super jealous, but like me and 3 of my buddies that all love the Mets. Text every night.
Love the Mets.
We text every night during the game, and they're like, Covino's out of his mind. It was a rain delay. It was already late. Plus, they're losing.
You don't believe in your team.
They're losing by 5. And then in the 6th inning,
as a fan, you're supposed to sit there and watch in misery, but hope that they come back, and then
like,
be mad the rest of your night. And that's what I do.
That's insane thinking. And
it's
honestly,
not.
everything about what
it's
you're saying.
It's called being a fan.
If they're putting in rough to pitch a position player, you're still watching?
Yes, because I want to see.
Isn't that what social media is for?
It's about. Otherwise, you're missing chapters to the story. You know what I mean? Like, you're missing stuff. And I know you could say, oh, well, I'll catch up on social media. But you're not, like, ride or dying in it and part of that story if you're missing out on it. If that's your team, you're watching. If that's your team, you know what's going on.
It's ridiculous thinking.
If your team, you know what position player went in there to pitch.
Yeah, you can find that out on Twitter.
Here's the feedback. Of course you want your favorite team when they're not doing well. It's from Gary Hopwood.
Oh,
this is on social media.
You're so ridiculous.
I mean, when your team doesn't make it to the World Series, you still watch, right?
You're twisting the question.
Being a lifelong Orioles fan, I would have missed every World Series every game since the mid-'80s. That's from Gary. This is Jay's fan Jess. I watch in misery in hopes that my team comes back. Then I'm double disappointed when they don't. This is Coach Chamberlain. I watch in misery until there's a turnover or until the game reaches a point where the game is completely out of reach.
Boom!
DJ Ray Rivas. What's up, DJ Ray Rivas?
That guy just said it.
I keep watching in misery. That's what everybody's saying.
Yeah, but why is that a good thing? Why is that smart?
Your team was losing 6-1 in the 6th.
No, and then they gave up. No.
It was 6-1. Now you're going to lie to justify. Because I was on the phone. I remember you said, now it's 9 to whatever.
Yeah,
so you didn't know that. You didn't know that. You didn't know that until you checked on social media.
I think
I watch every day.
I don't know if
it's good and bad. It's like a relationship.
I think Rich has the 5-run rule.
He does.
I do.
He does. He's establishing a rule right now, and I think that rule is hogwash. I do.
Hogwash.
Hogwash.
Is that what you clean your junk with?
I do. That's what I use. Yeah. Hogwash.
What should the rule be, Covino?
That you stick it out. Otherwise, it's a character flaw. So in your relationships, right?
This might be your dumbest take.
Really,
ever.
in your relationships,
flaw.
Are you gonna dip out when times are tough? When your significant other gains a few pounds? When things aren't always honky and dory?
What's a few
when
pounds?
Things aren't fun? See what I mean? Oh, you're only there to ride when things are good. But if you're down a little bit, hey, I'm out. I don't got time for that.
Covino.
That's what it's saying. This is his team. This is his team. I'm not saying to watch a team you don't care about. This is the team you claim to be in a thread about.
Can you go to Chris in Connecticut?
Why? Because Chris agrees with you?
No, because he's a Mets fan. I'm pretty sure, and
you don't know the whole story if you're not there during the downtime.
Back to our stupid argument about.
It's not stupid.
When you
it made
off
me angry
the game.
yesterday, and it makes me angry this morning because you're a fair-weathered guy.
Well, depending on how you angle the question, you're going to get what you want. Like, you know how when it comes to sports, politics, anything, if you could angle numbers and stats to back up your argument, what you're saying is you're a fair-weather fan if you're not with your team when they lose. No. This isn't I don't root when they have a losing season.
I don't shut off the game until it's over, bro. I don't. So that you can angle all you want. That's the fact. Okay. You shut it off because your team's down 5 runs?
Yeah.
Okay. So you could miss the turning point of a season if you do that. Yeah. How about that? How many times did you leave a game early to beat traffic and your team came back?
I don't. You're the guy that left.
I've done that.
You're the guy that does it every time.
And what happened? Your
last 2 games you went to?
I would never do that if I'm watching it. I didn't want to do that just in real life. I had to because I had to make it to work.
Okay, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Please explain this to me.
Yes.
So you saying Covino has a rule of not turning the game off in front of the set.
Right.
But he'll leave the stadium early?
He's left the last 3 games
but
he's
hold
into.
on, Joel.
He missed a Judge walk-off. He missed a Stanton walk-off.
Now, what does
He's
this prove,
missed it
though?
all.
But what does this prove?
That you're
no.
contradicting yourself.
Not
violation.
At all. No, not at all.
Oh, not at all.
Work is a priority, and I had to leave to get it to get the Fox Sports Radio.
I got you.
That's the truth.
Okay.
I had to leave to make sure I was on the air. Hello. Otherwise, I would have stayed there.
That was the one time.
But the point is, and you're missing your point, and you're getting in your own way.
Uh-oh.
And I'll tell you why. Because guess what? The team came back and won the game. It happens. But if you shut off the game, you miss the greatest moments and why we watch sports in the first place.
All right, Chris in Connecticut. Let's go back to him. We cut him off because we had to go to break. Chris, what's up, bud?
You know you have a good show when I sit here and wait through a commercial break. But here, guys, let me finish my point. You ready?
Yeah.
Here's the deal. First off, Covino, if they start coming back, you're going to find out about it because you're checking it on your phone anyway. So no reason that you can't go watch some Office reruns. But
correct.
Let me make my other point here. I get it, Covino. You know, Yankees, they can't buy a win right now. And I get that you're watching, you're praying that somehow they're going to win again, praying that be lucky that they're in the worst division in baseball. See, as a Met fan, I can shut my game off if my team's getting beat one day because I know we have the division. I know we got the NLE, so I'm going to shut the game off.
Don't be too confident,
Then
Chris.
you don't watch for the joy of the game. You watch just for some sort of bragging right.
It's a sad time being a Yankee fan. I get it.
I don't trash talk Yankee fans, Chris.
This
By the
is a
way,
Yankee Mets thing, I
if they
think.
beat in the World Series, it's a bad
you know-
look. I don't agree with Chris.
You know what else takes precedence over reruns of The Office? Reruns of anything. I don't care if it's Seinfeld or whatever stupid show you want to watch. You know what takes
All right, hey, guys,
precedence?
fuck the show. I got to run, but great show.
Thanks,
you,
Chris.
Chris.
Chris in Connecticut, 877-99 on Fox. Something that's going on in real time because I enjoy the sound of baseball even when my team's losing. That's comfort food. It's there. I love it. I keep the game on because I love it. Because I don't
live a
care.
different life.
What?
You live a different life.
No, I don't. This is Fox Sports Radio. 90% of people agree with me.
I can promise you you're wrong.
Why? Because that one dude?
No, I can promise you you're wrong because it's a 162-game schedule. This isn't, I give up on my team when they're bad.
Who do you think loves baseball?
Baseball's on every day. If your team, listen, we're trying to do a lot of things, right? People are working, people got kids, people got
working out.
dinners, they got work events, they're going to the gym, they're doing all these things. If your team is losing,
You can't pull up the app and
If
watch
you're-
the game at the gym? What do you got, a dumb phone?
if your team is losing by, as I always say, if it's 5 or more runs, meaning a grand slam won't even do you any good, then you check the phone. Yeah, 7th inning, 8th inning, yeah, they're still losing. You don't need to watch your team losing 13-1. That's not a good fan. That's just you're a dummy. They put in all
Dummy
the
or you enjoy the game?
They've put in all the backup players. They put in position players to pitch. Why are you watching? You're the fool.
I think I've already explained that.
Jordan in Ohio. Some nights, Jordan, your team doesn't have it, and to watch a game when your team's losing.
Hey, with that mentality, if I think someone's losing a fight and it's the 6th round, I might as well tune out because there's no way the guy could come back if he's down 6 rounds.
No, everyone's got a puncher's chance in boxing. It's a different story. When
Get outta here.
when a team's losing 9-2 in the 8th inning, you're still watching. Then you're just a bad decision maker.
Well, I'm in between on it, guys. So it depends. I don't think I turn it off if it's that early. If it's 6-1.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it depends on the fan. Like if you're a diehard just baseball fan in general, more so the game and your team, I think you stick it out, all the way through regardless. But if you're just a diehard fan for your team, you can be a diehard fan for your team. I believe, 8th innings coming around or end of the 7th, middle of the 7th, and your team's down by 8-9 runs. If you start out there, I can kind of.
All right,
that.
Dude,
Jordan,
the
Jordan,
announcers-
I just
the
checked the box.
announcers
Hold on, I
check
just
out,
checked the
Jordan.
box score.
The announcers
It was
check out.
5-1 in the 5th, and this dude was already on to the next thing.
Oh, I was.
5-1 in the 5th. They didn't blow the game open until the 6th inning. Atlanta went ahead, scored 8 runs in the 6th. It was 13-1. Rich, it was in the 5th inning, and he was already tuned out because he didn't believe in his team.
I didn't.
And he doesn't watch for the love of the game. He watches just to brag to his friends that his team is winning.
I was on the phone with Covino, and I go, dude, it's 6-1. Oh, my God, it's 9-1. Yeah, good thing I turned it off.
Then, it's not necessarily bragging, right? But you just don't love the game of baseball as much as I do. That's all. And you know what? Football. Would you do that in football? Probably not, because you love football.
Well,
and I like football a lot. But I don't love it as much as you.
Football is,
and I love football. But Rich is like crazy about it because he usually has like his kid's college fund on it.
Football,
he has money on it.
Is weekly.
Yeah,
football is 17 regular season games. We were talking about 162.
Every game counts, man. Like I said, you never know what you're going to miss.
I mean, that's like,
all right.
Honestly, that's
let's ask Rich, does every game count?
Yes.
Every game does count, but my point is I'm a big Mets fan. I have it on every day, but there are days where yesterday I picked my daughter up from school, I went to the gym.
Bro, everybody has responsibilities,
but what I'm saying,
man.
I turned on the game and I was like, man, right away you could tell. Carlos Carrasco, there was a rain delay. Strider for the Braves, you could tell that he was on the money yesterday. Carrasco was not. In fact, he was injured. Rain delay, pulled from the game. Before you know it, we're halfway through the game. It's 5-1. Then it was 6-1. I'm like, yeah, they just don't have it tonight. Let me go clean up the yard. Let me go watch it. Let me turn.
Go do anything else.
But you can't put him on the radio or something?
I don't. But dude, how unpresent are you with? Like, I mean, your daughter's with you half the time. How unpresent are you? I got little kids that need attention or that want to watch.
Hold on, I was with my daughter yesterday. And what does that have to do with the price of bananas?
And like you're giving her your attention if you're watching the Yankees every day?
You think you have a 4-year-old, I have a 13-year-old daughter. You think she gives a crap when she's on the phone with her friends and stuff like that? So yeah, if I'm watching the game, no rerun on what's happening is taking precedence of a live game where it can be turned around. So that's what we're talking about. There's two types of people.
We live different lives, that's all.
Do you turn the game off? Look, if you had something important to do, I understand your garden needed tending. I get that, but you could still turn the game on.
Well, let's
in your
find
headphones.
out. Let's find it, Rich.
Yeah.
You're up 6-1. 5th inning, 6th inning.
Ooh.
Do you turn it off?
No, because he's fair with it.
I if it's 6-1, I'll tune out. Twitter's the greatest thing ever for sports updates.
Yeah, but it doesn't tell the story.
Not for haters, but if I'm watching and if the Mets are winning 6-1, I'm like, oh, good, all right. I could dip away knowing they got the lead.
It doesn't tell the story.
Now
he's talking about
if it's 8-1 and it's all 8-1, how'd they score the 2? Oh, Lindor hit a 2-run shot. I'll go to Twitter and SNY's Twitter immediately will have that 2-run home run.
And I'll tell you, I'll prove to you that this is hogwash. This is BS of the highest regard. This is fool's talk that I hear. And this is not at Rich. This is at anyone that agrees with Rich. Twitter, updates, that doesn't tell the story. You know what I read all the time? Highlights of Jacob deGrom. Oh, he struck out 10. Big whoopity-doo. I look at the highlights and I could see that that's impressive. But it's not the same as living it and watching it and seeing every pitch and how he's dominating and toying with the opponents. I don't see that because I'm not a Mets fan. But you come back and tell me when he's on fire, and I'll tell you what, I don't absorb it the same way just by seeing the stats. Don't tell me that seeing the stats is the same thing as living pitch by pitch and watching how this whole story unfolds and develops. It's not the same.
All right, fine. I don't even want to talk to you about this
anymore. Do you
honestly, I'm exhausted. You've exhausted me.
I've exhausted you, or Joel just slam dunked you and said, "Oh, but if your team's up 6 runs, you keep it on."
How is that a slam dunk?
Because it shows the hypocrisy.
I wouldn't keep it on. I said.
You know you would, because everyone under the moon wants to see their team pound the opponent.
No. If you want the truth, I'm giving you the truth. If the Mets were up 6-1, I'd say,
I don't believe you.
Sweet. And then I'd be like, well, it's really not that close, so they won't even put Diaz in. So at some point I might be like, all right, let me check in and see how they scored runs. But 162 games, you expect people with jobs, kids, responsibilities to watch 9 innings of 162 games? You're on drugs.
Everybody's got that, dude. I got 3 jobs, 4 depending on how you look at it.
4.
I got a puppy. I got a kid. I have to pick her up to school.
Dude's got a
I have
puppy.
baby mama drama. I have a girlfriend. Everybody has responsibilities. All right, I gotta go to the gym. Everybody does the same thing. You're nobody special. With like your life's the busiest because you have to tend to your rose petals. Give me a break on that. So anyway, do you turn the game off or not? The choice is yours. Hit us up at Covino and Rich. Hashtag Covino is right.
You were watching The Bachelor last night.
Yes, I did. After the Yankees lost. Because I believed that they could turn it around.
So you had a pretty miserable night.
I did.
You watched the Yankees lose really and you watched The Bachelorette.
I watched This Fool, though. This Fool is funny, man. Pretty good show on Hulu. This Fool.
All right.
But it was, what was yesterday? Monday night? I'm going to catch up on Better Call Saul tonight.
You opted to watch the Yankees
I have a reason. Relax.
Over Better Call Saul.
Yes.
The finale.
Yes, because I
the
enjoy that,
series
dude.
finale.
The Yankees are my pizza. Even when it's bad, it's still good.
All right, to each his own.
It's called being a fan of the sport, man.
Yeah, I mean,
not just of my team winning.
I feel like you absorb just as much because I feel like you don't know much. I feel like you have no more insight than I do watching the. You even said your younger brother, who is in his 20s.
People absorb different.
Yeah,
I absorb by watching it.
Your brother absorbs by. Yeah, I feel like you.
Rich absorbs Cliff Notes. I absorb by actually watching.
I mean, I do like a hybrid of it. I'll watch a game if it gets out of control either way. I'll check the rest on social media. There's 162 of them. Covino's younger brother and the younger generation watch a completely different way. Your brother knows just as much as you do about the Yankees.
They know the ending of the story, and they know the highlights, but they don't know the details. I know the details, and I like the details. You do not.
Yo, when a game's out of control, the announcers even check out. They start talking about most arbitrary crap going on.